Call the executive committee meeting for Tuesday, April 23rd to order. If we can get a roll call, please.
Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk?
Present.
Ms. Weber? Present. Ms. Parker?
Present.
Mr. Seroy?
Present.
Mr. Carrico?
Present.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Long? Mr. Eckhoff?
Present.
Mr. Hunter?
Present.
Ms. Foster? Mr. Wheeler?
Present.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
You have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Can I get a motion to admit Ms. Parker and Mr. Carrico into the meeting remotely? Mr. Eckhoff, Mr. Hunter, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Aye.
same sign. Motion carries. There was something, I had some dates mixed up with our electrical aggregation partner, if you will. And he was supposed to be here tomorrow. I probably told him to be here today. So a lot of the people here are on the same committee. So I thought I would call him up to just do a brief overview of what aggregation is and what the market is. There's nothing to vote on, but I didn't want to make him come all the way back down here tomorrow. We have the paperwork, we have the recommendations. So I do apologize for that. So please.
Hi, my name's Adam Hoover. We help with the electrical aggregation program here. If you're unfamiliar, just a quick reminder. Electrical aggregation allows for kind of the ability to bulk purchase with residents with their electricity. The original terms was always to hope to find a better rate. So if ComEd's rate's at 7 cents, we always hope to find residents a rate at 6 cents and find savings. We unfortunately can't do that. None of our suppliers are finding savings right now. So we currently have a price match program. That is a program where if the ComEd rate rises or drops, your residents will see that same rate. There's no change to the residents. There's no change to their billing. There's no change to their delivery. ComEd still delivers the energy. In turn, a supplier gives a civic contribution to the county. We're here to ask for a renewal, look for a renewal. I think this will be up for tomorrow for conversation.
Yeah.
And we are still looking for fixed rates that can find better rates, but we just can't find them. So we're asking for a renewal of the same program. The real question is a 1, 2, or 3 year renewal where, once again, residents don't see any change in their rates, but in turn, there would be a civic contribution to the county. Renewals are much easier with residents. Communication is much easier. Many of you guys probably got these letters yourselves. And so when you renew a program, it's much easier than stopping and restarting. My personal opinion is we don't think we'll be able to beat ComEd in the next couple of years. They've kind of changed the way they've calculated their rate. So I kind of think, there's no real winner. I'm never one to sit here and tell you what I know the market is. I think a 3-year deal is safe and kind of get this off and get a couple civic contribution checks, which are always nice. I just don't think it's likely that we beat ComEd in the next 1, 2, or 3 years. So we recommend a continuation of the program. The city of Kankakee runs it. I'll be meeting with the mayor later today. So it's kind of the program that we're suggesting with all of our towns and municipalities and counties.
So I kind of asked for a little bit of a prospectus. What's upcoming? What do you see in the market? And that's as like the Supreme Court case that we talked about, where if something is sold at tax sale, the gap now has to go back to the person on the property, and the value of the property, and the governmental unit only gets out what they're owed. So that's the takings clause thing. This is a threat to your business model on the way that they operate, and really the way that the competitive market is driving down the rates in the fixed market.
Yes.
There is no competitor for who we were with before, which was MC Squared, if everybody remembers that number. So you got to have competition to drive down the rates.
Yes.
And you're not seeing that.
With our price match program, we're hoping in particular, we can find fixed rates, like I said. We have competition there, but the problem is they're not beating ComEd. With this price match program, we're hoping to increase the civic contribution by getting more suppliers. It's a difficult program to run for our suppliers. Yeah. MC Squared's a local Chicago-owned smaller company, and it's difficult to do, and they specialize in doing it. We want more suppliers to join, so then we can get more competition and higher civic contributions or higher green energy or whatever every town's focus is.
So it's worked well for us. It's worked well for our citizens. We're not going to find a better price than ComEd.
Correct.
Over the short throw is what they're saying.
Correct.
So we'll get into this tomorrow. I just wanted some folks to be able to ask the question, and our residents can opt out. In the rural areas, we're not aggregating for Bradley, Bourbonnais, Kankakee. This is the rural ones in some of those smaller communities.
Bourbonnais also, Kankakee are also doing the same program.
They're doing the same program, just not with us.
Yes, yes.
So I just to mention, they can always go with another supplier if they like. Usually that's not the best choice because we're using driving down massive numbers of cost.
Correct.
You know, but
I check electricity prices every day. I'm with ComEd. You know,
Yeah.
You gotta, if you ever want a different supplier, you gotta opt out after 6 months because they raise prices on you. ComEd's very competitive right now, which is good.
Mr. Hunter,
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. One question.
Yeah.
I remember this program when I was on the Kankakee City Council, and that's been eons ago. How long has this program been in existence?
Oh, that's at least for 3 or 4 years now. I think there was a little break that we ran it for. My father ran it, so I should get the exact details. But I bet you guys, pro municipalities, I think the city has been running it since 2012.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak directly for the county because I don't have a perfect memory of it,
Yeah.
but
But I do remember. Yeah,
I do. It was a referendum.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
2012 referendum
Yes.
starting in effect
because
2015.
I was on the council then. I remember
Yeah.
voting on
those were the days when we could save residents money. Those were the good old days, and we're hoping to get back there one day.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll tackle the business. And again, I apologize for the mix-up. It's my fault. At least you got the information. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Take care. With that, I need we have public comment today. I have nobody who has requested public comment. Nothing from Miss Gowdy in the back. Nope, she looked like she wanted to say something. So, no, just kidding. As she sips her coffee slowly. Motion to go into executive session. 5 ILCS 122 C11. Mr. Featherling, second. Mr. Alexander Hildebrand. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber?
Aye.
Ms. Parker? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Seroy?
Aye.
Mr. Carrico?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling?
Aye.
Mr. Long? Mr. Eckhoff?
Aye.
Mr. Hunter?
Aye.
Ms. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler?
Aye.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
All right. We'll go into,
Carries.
we'll be off in a second. Yeah. All righty. Looks like we are back from executive session for the executive committee for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. I need a motion to authorize the payment of the grievous settlement for highway department. Is there a motion there?
Polk.
Dr. Polk? Mr. Long? For the record, the amount's $839, and a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess. Aye. Ms. Polk.
Aye.
Ms. Weber. Aye. Ms. Parker. Aye. Mr. Seroy.
Aye.
Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler.
Aye.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand.
The motion carries. I'm not sure if that 839 includes shipping and handling, so we'll make sure of that. Mr. Eckhoff's question. Alrighty, we have a presentation today. It is from the Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Nicole Gavin is here to explain a little bit about the new intergovernmental agreement that will come before the board to approve next month. So we want to make sure that everybody hears this, has a chance to ask any questions, but she's going to describe a little bit about this is and what the agreement is, and then I can give you some more details how it relates to current contribution and structure and things like that. So I believe Mr. Alexander Hildebrand was at that meeting too, so he's able to do that. Thanks so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Nicole Gavin. I'm the executive director of Visit Kankakee County. Basically, we are the marketing arm for the county. So we are here trying to bring in different business out of town for commercial, for families having get-togethers, different types of tourism reasons. So we're definitely here to expand the experience and also drive economic growth and quality of life for not only our residents, but then anybody else that's coming here. Couple of the things I just want to touch on that we do. We've got a spring summer campaign that is launching this month. We are going to be, these are just a couple sample ads that you'll see on Google, through social media. We will be on CTA in the city. We'll be on billboards. We are doing audio spots on when you're listening to your audiobooks or podcasts, there's commercials that come in. So we'll have audio spots, and we'll also have video spots on YouTube. So in between when you're watching things on YouTube, and we're also looking at Comcast. So just a couple different options we've got here. We've got come for the blooms, stay for the tunes, come for the streams, stay for the dreams. So kind of playing on a lot of the outdoor assets that Kankakee County has and trying to encourage some stay and play. So we have some partnerships with the hotels where, you want to come and play golf, you'll get a special rate on a hotel. So encouraging those overnight visitors and not just the day trippers. So I'm hoping I can play these video stingers for you. I don't
see the
know.
highlight, the link there in the middle.
Are you able to play that video stingers? So these are
Yep.
a compilation of 15-second quick videos, and I'd love for you to see these here.
Download.
Nope. Hit the button in the middle. First or last.
All right, so those are a compilation of the 15-second stingers that'll be on YouTube. We're also trying to get them on Comcast. So really just capturing what Kankakee County is. And I think that those are pretty fun. So
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
Where do you geofence those to?
We have them throughout the Chicagoland area. We've got Indianapolis. We've got St. Louis area.
Okay.
So it's not local. It's all.
It helps provide perspective to people who thinks that we advertise, or we, the CVB, advertises for bars and things within a local market. They don't understand that a CVB, they wouldn't understand that they're to market us outside of the area.
Yes.
And I thought that was important to ask that question, because you won't, unless you're out there, you may see some of these, but they're geared for people in other areas to see them.
Yeah, so about 90% of our marketing is outside the area. I mean, aside from our social media, which a lot of local residents do see, everything else is out, out in the wild.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So one of the other initiatives we have right now is our craft beverage trail, which we just started that in February, and we have 103 people enrolled in that. We've got 13 different establishments throughout Kankakee County, and they are from like smoothie establishments, coffee. There are some craft breweries on there, wine bars. So it is a trail through a free app where you can go to 13 different establishments. You get a different discount at each one. So it's encouraging people to visit multiple different destinations, and upon the completion of it, we are providing a gift, like a prize afterwards. So really cool. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you can come to our website and get the QR code, but there's 13 different places. So we're really trying to encourage people, if they're out and about, okay, if you're somewhere, let's try another place, get them into different establishments. So it's really exciting. We are going to be launching a taco trail in May. And then we're also looking at like a historical trail as well as murals. So these are all coming. This was kind of our little baby here to start this out. So we're pretty excited for it. We do get all the user-generated content. So these are people who have actually been on the trail and they've snapped photos. So we get all of their emails. We can market to them. So if you have any visitors from out of town, like this is a great thing to do to check things out. Kankakee County, the economic impact from tourism is pretty large. So last year, visitor spending in our county alone was $171.6 million, and that was up over 17% from the prior year. And yes, I know we were coming out of a pandemic, but visitor spending is on the rise, and it also equated to over $6 million in direct local tax revenue. So it's definitely, I know a lot of people don't think that there is a lot of tourism here, but there's a lot of business that people come here for. We have some great amenities. I mean, who knew that you can scuba dive here in Kankakee County? So a lot of different things that we're really focused on. And tourism does create jobs. There's over 1,200 jobs here in the Kankakee County that come from tourism and hospitality. So it's really important that we focus on keeping tourism here and promoting it. These visitor expenditures also allows every Illinois household to save over $1,200 in taxes. So if there was not visitation here, that would fall on the shoulders of our residents to make up that difference. So again, really powerful economic driver for our area. And the reason why I'm sharing this is our intergovernmental agreement is coming to an end on June 30th. And currently the way we are funded is our organization receives a 5% hotel tax from the county. So we are receiving nearly $800,000 to help operate and help come up with these marketing campaigns and things like that. The other 18% of our funding comes from a grant through DCEO. So this past year we received $163,000 plus then some other smaller grants. So that is how our organization is currently funded. Like I said, it is coming to an end on June 30th, and we had to start looking at some alternative options because right now, all of the entities within Kankakee County participate. Bradley has indicated that they did not want to be part of our organization, so we were looking for alternatives, and we spent quite some time looking for some different options. So what we came up with some conversations with mayors throughout the county as well as the chairman is this new intergovernmental agreement. So instead of a 5-year intergovernmental agreement, we're looking at a 2-year agreement. And instead of our organization collecting the full 5% hotel tax from everyone, it would be municipalities with 7,500 residents or more would pay more of like a membership fee. So it would be $60,000 per year plus $5,000 for each hotel within their corporate boundaries. So that would come to the city of Kankakee, the village of Bourbonnais, and the village of Manteno. And then we also included Kankakee County, which would kind of act as the umbrella for a lot of the smaller municipalities. So, you know, Grant Park, Herscher, Moments, they don't have 7,500 residents. They don't have hotels. So the county would kind of act as that umbrella. So like I said, the membership would be $60,000 per year and then $5,000 for each hotel within those boundaries. So for example, Kankakee County here, there are 2 hotels within the, I guess it would be the, within your boundaries that are not within a city. So it would be $60,000 per year plus then the 2 hotels, so it would be $70,000. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. And so then each municipality would pass their own ordinance to collect their hotel tax. So that $60,000 can come from the hotel tax. It can come from general fund. It can be utilized however that municipality or county wishes. So with participating entities, they will receive the premier marketing for the attractions, for the businesses, for the hotels, also receive like lead opportunities. We get a lot of leads for people looking for conferences, conventions, sports events, different types of things. So they would be eligible for leads. And then they would also have 1 voting director on our board. Currently, our board is made up of 11 directors. Moving forward, our board will be made up of 4 directors. So it would be just the 4 entities that are members of our organization. For anyone that is not participating, they would get a basic listing on our website because we still have to market the county, and that's how we receive our grant. So they would have a basic listing, but they would not be eligible for, you know, anything within our campaigns, any of our blog listings, any of our social media would just be a very basic listing. So anybody that is participating would get all of the leads and everything like that. So any questions so far? Yes.
Mr. Hunter first, and then Ms. Foster second.
I'm trying to go back.
Yeah, no, not really. It's so apparent. I see the collaboration of Kankakee City, Manteno, Bourbonnais, Raleigh, etc. I see, however, Bradley reaps the benefits of the CVB, but doesn't contribute. What, if anything, are they doing to enhance the CVB? I know they're not on the board anymore, right? And I've talked to some of the members, and they've said that there's been discussions.
Yes.
Uppercase. But maybe that'll dissipate in as much that that particular entity is not there, you know, for those discussions. But anyway, yeah, so could you respond to my initial question?
So the door is open. We understand that Bradley had some concerns and they did not want to participate moving forward. But I'm very optimistic that we're leaving the door open, that they can see what the benefit of Visit Kankakee County is and what it does for the area. And yes, I understand that most of the visitors end up staying in Bradley because that's geographically where the hotels are located. I know there are discussions that there's going to be, you know, potentially more hotels in Kankakee. There's potentially hotels, the new exit in Bourbonnais. With Goshen, there may be hotels popping up in Manteno. So it's just a matter of time. I'm focused on still promoting the whole county.
And I like, the stringers you gave, the little vignettes. I really appreciate those. It showed a panoply of our residents, diversity, and thumbs up to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Ms. Foster, please.
Yeah, I thought that you did a good job with the pictures of activities in Kankakee. However, I think you missed the point as far as I didn't see enough diversity. You didn't have the rodeo that happens every year, the Black Rodeo. And there are lots of people who come out of Chicago for that. Sure. Are you going to be targeting Black radio in the Chicago area?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So we work with different radio stations up in the Chicago area. And I do understand that we are trying to create more diversity within our marketing, and that has been a focus for us this past year. When we do have our asset collection, so when we do the videos, when we do the photography, we hire a company that comes in for the weekend. So we were looking for later on in the year. I know the rodeo happens in late May. And so we were trying to get multiple events scheduled that weekend, but we are out at the rodeo. We do promote the rodeo, and that is definitely one of our focus, to be more diverse and more inclusive.
Not only the rodeo, but we have Mexican Independence Day, which is a big activity in Pembroke, where we have a lot of people who come from Chicago.
For sure.
You know. Yep. And, you know, that needs to be in your presentation as well. We also have the Blueberry Festival in Pembroke. We have an organic Blueberry Festival. Now, with the thing with the smoothie, we have a black couple who runs a smoothie shop that's in the mall.
Yep, Essential Smoothies. They're part of our trail.
I didn't see them. I didn't see a picture of them.
Well, Rosemary, I got to be honest. You're not seeing like 1/100th of the assets that they deploy.
Right, I know.
I'm just mentioning she's showing you like a sample of what they're doing, and know that that's all there. It's just what she brought out to show that this is the video they do, and these are things like that.
Yeah, but I do want them to do more.
Sure.
You know, that's my issue.
I hear that. Yes.
Yes.
And our we appoint somebody to that board to make sure that those messages are sent loud and proud. So we want to make sure that we get through to that. So continue. Oh, the other thing for perspective, so you know, the financial side of this is almost exactly what we pay right now in terms of out-of-town visitors put a head in the bed. That tax, we gather up everybody's taxes and send it over, but our portion in our 2 hotels is basically what we do now. So you're being asked at some point to continue on with what we've been doing before. You're seeing the quality of the work they do, just not every single asset they deploy.
Yes.
And I asked the geo-targeting question, so you would be able to geofencing about, you know, where do they do this? We don't see it. Well, you wouldn't see it unless you live 50 miles away. But you do see like the Starved Rock billboard sitting out here. Well, that's what her job is to put our billboard right out in Starved Rock.
Yep.
You understand? So that makes sense.
Yeah, we definitely work with the other DMOs, but it's a little friendly competition because we're trying to pull that market to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions about the nature of the
boat
agreement?
races? Yep, that is coming back this year. Yes.
Boat races, Miss Foster, please.
I got another question.
Yes.
Have you reached out to the airport as far as potential tourism?
Yeah, we had a meeting with the airport. It has been like over a year now, and that's something else we can definitely talk with them about. So we had actually talked about doing different events out there as well. So yeah, that's a great idea again. Is there any other questions?
Anyone else? So we'll be, if you think of questions, we're going to be available throughout this next month. It'll come back to a committee next month, executive, for vote, and then for full board in June. That still gives you enough runway to do. And I will just say that I would, am I incorrect in saying that there is no countywide CVB if the county is not part of it?
That's true.
So we're last. But I'm not going to say we're more important, but a countywide CBB doesn't exist without us. So take that responsibility very, very seriously. Mr. Featherling.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What was your funding loss when Bradley says they're not coming in?
It's about 65%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that is going to definitely impact our staffing. It's going to impact our office. It is going to impact as far as the campaigns. And we had planned ahead. We did get a lot of assets collected this past year with video and photography, so we can keep doing what we're doing. And there are lots of opportunities for different marketing that are not as costly, but we were trying, you know, really promote the area. And that's our goal, is to keep being creative, keep doing things, even with the loss of budget.
Well, having Mantino and everybody pay a fee, does that help some of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's still about a 60% loss.
Still 60 after that. Okay.
Yeah. So with this new structure, we'll be operating at about a $450,000 budget versus a $950,000.
But, excuse me, but then they still get the revenue from not participating?
Bradley will still get the hotel tax. Yes.
From the Village of Bradley.
Yes.
Not everywhere else.
Yes.
So, elite marketing. That word, I think it was up there, was a premier level.
Yes.
So the smaller communities, to Ms. Foster's point, the rodeo, I would say not expect, but we would assume to see at a level.
Yep.
Because of the county's contribution, that would that come through us? I mean, are we, or does they just deal directly with you, or
they can come directly to us? So I mean, they're already on our website, calendar of events. We do a lot of social media pushes. They're on our website. But as far as nothing changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, except the expectation of a higher level of promotion, right?
But my email is available. You can call me. I'm available all the time. Come into the office. We're happy to hear your ideas, hear your perspective. I'm really excited about the work that we do, and I think it's super important for our area. I feel like the trajectory has just been increasing over the years. I want to keep doing what we're doing. So, yeah. Did you have another question, Ms. Foster?
Give me your phone number and the phone.
It is 815-935-7390.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll put a little note on here. I'd like to see you come. I know you're here for the IGA, but I'd like to see you come back maybe a couple times a year.
Okay, great. I'm happy to.
Yeah, under the old agreement, we needed to see you guys once a year for a presentation. Is that still in the new agreement?
I didn't know that was in the agreement, but I'm happy to.
That was in the initial IGA.
Okay.
And if it got to 15, 16 months, nobody was.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
not
no,
like,
I'm happy
it all
to.
ends if you don't show up. But,
I'm happy to.
I heard Mayor Bradley mentioning that guys don't come here to present, and I see you every year, so I thought
Okay.
I would mention that
Okay.
you are here and you do provide that information.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just happened to be listening to a radio station when he mentioned that.
Gotcha.
So I was one of 6 people.
Yeah.
So anyway, any other questions? Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Approve the minutes, March 26, 2024. Mr. Eckhoff, second. I'll try to move quick. Ms. Foster. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It's not on the agenda. Oh, wait a minute. It is on the agenda. I thought we were going to bring it back. I'm sorry. I thought it was just the presentation this month. So we just approved the minutes?
Yes.
All right. I guess the timing still works, but I wanted to give people a chance to. I tell you what, let's approve it here. We'll still bring it back for the June meeting and give you a full month to come up with any other questions. Is that acceptable? Or would you rather see it go right to full board? From here? Okay. Motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement between the County of Kankakee, City of Kankakee, Village of Bourbonnais, Village of Manteno, and Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Inc. for the promotion of tourism in Kankakee County, Illinois. Mr. Featherling, Mr. Long, comments, questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess? Aye. Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Aye. Ms. Parker? Aye. Mr. Seroy? Aye. Mr. Carrico?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling?
Aye.
Mr. Long?
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Aye.
Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Aye. Mr. Wheeler?
Aye.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. It is the committee's wish. We'll move forward. I don't have anything under legislative. Mr. Long, did you want to say anything in that area?
Thank you, Chairman. A lot of discussion because there's a bunch of bills in front of legislature. One of them that's kind of interesting is moving the boundaries of solar and wind farms. The other one is discussion about Tier 2 IMRF retirement. I'm not exactly sure what that'll, how that will affect us, but those two seem to be the important ones that I'm aware of.
Anything you guys are hearing about from credible sources, I guess? Which seem like they're getting fewer and fewer every day. I do know that there's been a lot of hand wringing down from groups in Springfield regarding Safety Act and things like that. There are people starting to make their voices heard that aren't necessarily thrilled with the collateral damage. So I'm sure nobody wanted to create this law that would hurt people, but it is. So, and in some cases that may be unavoidable, but we'll see what happens. Seems like they're doubling down and adding more to it. They're not trying to fix the issues with it. So, I did hear from our lobbyist, and some of our requests have, they're asking for our GATA numbers, so it looks like we may be, some of the things that we presented them for ask, like elevators and things like that, maybe falling on kind ears instead of deaf ears this time. So we'll let you know if it comes through. No promises, but I'm not hearing no. So, Mr. Hunter, did you have a question there?
Not a question, Mr. Chairman, but a comment. I know that you frequent Springfield, advocating for us and bringing back part of the hog for us, interfacing with our legislative representatives. But I was in Springfield last week. Yes, everybody and their mama was down there. I mean, all kind of vested interest groups, parades against this, that, so forth, and people buttonholing their representatives, waiting for them to come out of session about their particular concerns, their wants, their needs, their objections, etc. You know, and it may not be a bad idea if you and your group, members from the executive committee, would frequent that Springfield veto session, whatever it might be, you know, to interface and talk with some of the before some of the committees. I know you've done that, and you continue to do that. But I think it's a really enlightening and informative visit to Springfield to see how things work.
Yeah, it is. We're lucky to have legislators here who are beyond take our call, usually fight for us if at all possible, and frankly have delivered on a lot of things that we've asked of them. So I see no reason to change any of that. More to come on legislative, though. It seems to just I wish we could have an executive committee meeting at 4:30 in the morning on the last day of the session. That would be probably the best time to have a legislative discussion, because that seems like when everything happens. IS, Kevin Duvall, monthly update. Thank you.
Okay, I'll begin with upgrading on the phone system. I'm trying to give you a monthly upgrade on that, or update on that. Steve in the finance department has signed the documents to begin the conversion of Regional Office of Education system. It looks like that's going to go pretty smooth. They've worked out the last part of that. Reuter begins in early May the conversions of school's phone system. That's if everything continues to go as projected. It seems to be going smooth. After that, they plan on moving over to the highway department. I've told you that before. I'm going to I'm going to look at the documents. I believe Reuter's already got the final information for doing highways conversion, but that's so small, as I told you before, that shouldn't really be an issue. In preparation for that one, that I think I told you before, we went already in their re-pulled wires. I put in new switches, firewalls in preparation for them being upgraded, so that they've only got a few phones. That shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. As far as the RFP, those buildings in these campuses, we've talked to Reuter. They've already put in they're in the conversations with AT&T to verify all the lines and the transfers and the process. So that's been progressing. We've talked to them. They already put in the order for the equipment. And these buildings are going to be even more thorough than the other buildings because they have things like to make sure the phone lines, emergency phone lines that tie into elevators and stuff like that are verified, so there's no slip-ups before that happen. They've done this before, but we are progressing on that. It's not just that they're doing the smaller offices and then they'll think about it. It's all going on at the same time. It's just being implemented one after another, so everything's organized. They anticipate in mid to late summer to start the campus, and you'll know all about that because we'll discuss that and what department they're in and what building they're in when that happens. Moving on to the circuit clerks, as you know, I'll make sure I say that right, the ADA compliance construction project has begun already. The way we removed it, part of that process, we moved their computers to the temporary locations. We put in the hardware for the temporary location. We always have that on staff for just such a thing. So that's there. They've been operating for quite some time, so we know that's operating well. And upon completion, we'll move them back to their final place after the offices have been constructed. Part of the timing with going back to the phone system is so that they can do one move of the phone system, not move the old phone system and then upgrade. They're going to try to time it so they can do it prior to. So there's just one process, just so that can go a little bit smoother. Again, we provide the switches and temporary wiring for that. We've done this for quite a few years. That's not an additional cost. We have this in-house on staff, so anytime somebody needs something like that, we usually already have it. We help move somebody, then we help move them back. As far as the GIS department, they're doing an upgrade of their network. They're moving to a virtual network just like we've moved on to various other buildings there. We've been working with Jeff and the GIS department with Delbert. We're dealing with the vendor. We've already installed the equipment, the backup equipment, and Jason's been working with Jason and their vendor to install the software that needs to be done so they can transition from their existing network to the new network. It's just part of the timely upgrade. That's all out of the GIS funds. That doesn't come from us. They have more than enough money to handle that. So as far as the Tyler project, as far as our section of that, Jason has done a lot of you are in the same meeting for I call it law enforcement. I know that's not technical. Matt's got it. Criminal justice. There you go.
I was not going to help him. I was just going to wait and see how long it took.
I got a blank there for a second. In the last couple of weeks, they requested that we do a test of the network, which we already do, but they want to use their software we use our hardware, but their software, so it meets their standard. We want to make sure that we're always in compliance with all aspects of the contract. We're not worried about it because our testing is far more intensive than theirs are. So, and what we do is we put their software on, it runs for days, 24/7. It comes back. We've seen it, as I said. Theirs is nowhere near as intensive as what we test. So that's come back fine. We'll give that back. But that's our part of the department. How we're helping with the Tyler, and additional, they've done some upgrading on the testing databases. We've increased, you probably don't care about that, but the memory to make sure things sped up, and the conversion, we're adding things to allow the conversion of the data to happen faster. Instead of over days, it can happen over hours. So we've been involved in that. All of it's been accounted for. We anticipated some of it to go. To be fair, Tyler's system was quite a bit bigger than the CoreView system. What we did is anticipated based on CoreView, and I doubled that. Well, they needed even more than that for their testing. All that stuff's sitting in place. We've had a conversation with Sandy yesterday to do some even more, to prepare even more. So I like to always have way more than you needed, so it's not a surprise later on. I always like to take the hardware standards and go far beyond that, so you're never surprised in anything. We are still beyond that, but I'm requesting that they do another slight increase, so we'll make sure there's always headroom, so there's never a question that too late you needed to do something. This one, I think that would come out of their circuit clerk's own funds, less than $3,000. It's not something material for that. It doesn't need to happen. I would like to see them do that. Also, I was talking to the chairman before the meeting. I think maybe as Jason does his presentation for the criminal justice, maybe we should do that. That's at the beginning of the month. Maybe he'd do a quick presentation for you, or how would you feel?
It's really the committee, what their pleasure is. I thought that, you know, we get the full presentation at least one time a month, or because as we get ready to go live, without getting, you know, too much into the pocket protector, you know, with I'd say, you know,
Yeah.
because it's, you know, just where we at budget time wise, opportunities, threats, but then also you have another opportunity, or Jason, to bite at the apple at the end of the month for more timely emergent situations that
Yes.
we may need action, or just to be aware of.
If
Even if it's a good milestone that was reached.
we
Does that seem fair? Won't waste your time, but if it's something,
okay, well, next meeting we'll have him do a short presentation. It also allows him to get more comfortable. The more meetings that he does, the more comfortable he gets with doing the presentation. I think he's been doing a pretty good job of it. And lastly, it's that time of the year. We've discussed this in the beginning of the year, but coming now, I had an elected official had a question about a specific email that was questionable. That elected person did handle it properly, but he brought up that he wanted to make sure that he was following the proper guidelines, and that did we have any additional documentation. I said, yeah, it's the same thing we pass out every year. I was talking to Anita, it's that time of the year that we're going to send out the PDF document that reminds you all, most of you board members, some of you may be new, that reminds you how to handle suspicious emails. We monitor your emails, so we know you're all been doing a really good job of that. But not only is there nothing wrong with giving the documentation, and I believe it's part of the policy to do. So we're going to, as Nita reminded me, we're going to send that out to you specifically. Internally, we're going to do the same per department, and then I believe Anita will address at some time HR in the second half of the year. It'll be a two-part. So instead of just once, there's a two-part. I believe you already did that last year too, where you'll go online and you'll do that training part too. So everybody's always comfortable, because as you know, there's always some new attempt that they're doing. We're not saying that you're not going to get something. It always starts with the individual. Does it look suspicious? Delete it. Yeah, there's nothing so crucial that you should endanger your own hardware, because we can't protect your personal stuff. We've got all the software here that can do far more than people would think, but we can't protect yours. So if I was you, if you have any question, just delete it and initiate your own email asking, did you really send that? And it's that quick. It only takes a few seconds. And that was it, unless you have some questions.
all right, moving on. I know that there's a few people that have another meeting, so in order to free up people if they have to go to another meeting, I'm going to gather the things together that may need a vote of a quorum, if that's okay. And then if you have something else to do, I believe, because we're going long, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here before we get Mr. Beavis up here. All right. Can I get a motion to combine and approve the appointments, reappointments, and resignations? Mr. Hunter, Mr. Eckhoff with a second. I'll read them in the record. Here's the reappointments and appointments. Antonio Carrico to the Board of Health, Dr. Cyrita Jones, Board of Health, Dr. Jeff Long, Board of Health, Dr. Olatunji Ancantillo, Kankakee County Board of Health, and yes, I got that right. Randy Myers to the Bourbonnais Fire Protection District, Bill Hem, Bourbonnais Fire Protection District, Christine Allen to Limestone Fire Protection District, Charmaine Sims, Grand Park Fire Protection District, David Peters to the Manteno Community Fire Protection District, appointment of Bill Perkins to the Manteno Community Fire Protection District, Martin Kirchner, Essex Fire Protection District, Patrick O'Brien, Essex Fire Protection District, Dave Horn, Greater Moments Fire Protection District, Steve Cody, Kankakee County Board of Review, Joe Swanson, University of Illinois Extension, Steve Worth, Kankakee River Valley Forest Preserve District Board, Bill Parekas, William Parekas to the Kankakee County Housing Authority, Robert Lowry to the Reddick Fire Protection District, Kathleen Curl, Reddick Fire Protection District, Joe Brassert, Otto Township Fire Protection District, Dennis Bonvalet to St. Anne Fire Protection, James Nichols, Kankakee Township Fire Protection District, Patrick Kerner, Cabry Area Fire Protection District, Scott Bertrand, Blooms Grove Cemetery Association, Carl Goodwin, Blooms Grove, and Corey Mann, also a Blooms Grove Cemetery Association. All right. Is that a motion and a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Aye.
same sign. Motion carries. All right, we'll call up John. A motion to approve the administrator's report for the health department. Is there a motion? Put on file. Thank you, Ms. Weber. Second, Mr. Alexander Hildebrand. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Aye.
same sign. I think that's everything that has to be voted on. Okay, can I get a motion to put on file the Limestone Park District submission of decennial committee report and the monthly report for the VAC? Combine and approve, Mr. Long. Second, Dr. Polk. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. So we can get into all that stuff, but I just want to make sure that deck is clear. Yours, sir. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. County business comes first. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. I won't insult your intelligence by going over everything. You've got my report. You've accepted it. The one note that I wanted to make, and then answer any questions you may have, in regards to the IRIS program. I don't have an update in regards to the first quarter yet. The reason for that is the day after tomorrow, Thursday, the 25th, is when we are having the stakeholders meeting with the team from Kansas to go over all the data from that first quarter, have them show us the graphs, the charts, disseminate that information for us, so that, and explain to us how it is in that we would want to roll that out to educate the Board of Health, the Executive Committee, the County Board. So in the very near future, next month that is, then we will prepare, I will have Kaylee prepare a presentation that will give a more in-depth, show a PowerPoint presentation to explain then the nuances of all that. We've seen some of the data. It is available, but we've not actually had the opportunity to talk it over with the stakeholders, and I don't think that would be a fair assessment to discuss anything here with you, and they don't even know about it yet, and then they would be questioned about it. So if you could just be patient a little bit longer, but it will be that first quarter, which started February 5th. That was when we launched. So March, April, May 5th, and then the data has been compiled for us and will be presented on Thursday. More information to follow. With that, I'll take any questions.
For perspective, what, like next month, if I guess analogy wise, it's the crawling aspect. It's not even getting up to walk yet. It's more like just getting up and kind of feeling our way around and the connections that we're making with IRIS. Is that kind of where we're at? And that's because I don't want to have expectations they're going to see 3,000 referrals come in here next month. It's really just as we've got the bugs worked out, we've got the core group together, then we're building from there.
You're a
correct?
man after my own heart. I'm an analogy guy. That's a good way to put it. Yes. So, yeah, there will not be those kind of numbers, but we have 25 agencies that are in the system as of now. And I can assure you there were referrals. We're going to be able to see the types of things of who were the referrals being made to, who made the most referrals, what were the referrals in relation to, where were they going, and that kind of a thing. Meanwhile, understanding that we will continue to grow. You know, the baby is small, it's learning to crawl and walk, and eventually it will be running down the road. So, you know, it will only get better and better, yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions about that, Mr. Hunter?
No, on that, oh, I did had something else.
Or anything else? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that he's covered.
John, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Have you been contacted by any members of the international festival they're having Saturday, May 4th, as your office in terms of putting a table out there over at 2100 East Maple? Do you know anything about that?
I'm not aware of that.
I'll send you the flyer. Thank you.
May 4th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir, Mr. Carrico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I don't have any question or comment about on John's report, but I do want to thank the members of this committee and also everybody that have been helping with the Board of Health. And I do appreciate the reappointment of the presented Board of Health applicants of today, for the fact that the Board of Health members are working well and collaborating with each other to achieve our shared goal related to the Kankakee County Health Department mission. So thank you so much.
Any other questions, comments? Yes, Ms. Foster.
What's the COVID level for the county right now? Seems like it's low. It is.
The best way to answer that question is we no longer use levels. So with all the home testing that's out there and then the requirements to not have to be tested specifically, there's no way to really control the knowledge of. The education is out there. We continue to make that. A general assessment would be that, you know, regardless of whether it's COVID or the flu or RSV or just any of the typical viruses, even allergy symptoms that people are experiencing right now with all the pollen and the growth in spring happening, people just need to, you know, take care of themselves. If it becomes serious, see your physicians, then testing will take place. If it is COVID, you know, the restrictions are a lot more flexible than they were early on in the pandemic, so we're away from all of that. So a true answer to that question, unfortunately, is just not available. But you're right in that we are not a county that is considered to be having, you know, high levels of hospitalizations or anything, which is where they really base the level now of severity would be on the hospitalizations, and those are low, yes.
All right. Thanks, John.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I'm still seeing you after?
Yes, please. Let's see here. Schools. Frank Betkunas. He has lovely something to share with you guys. Roof is on fire. You may allude to what's coming here.
All right.
Yeah. Put out your
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
As far as schools is concerned, this time of year, everything is focused on finishing state testing, getting ready for end of the year activities, proms, graduations. So full swing there. Everybody's focused to strong finish. So there's that. I think what the chairman is wanting me to mention is the building that we are in at the regional office is in need of a roof. And so we will be requesting the building committee to consider that at the next meeting in May, and getting bids to
2026.
Get that process going. So
No, these are not cheap things. These are very expensive things. And by the way, we knew it was going to need a roof when we bought the building. Carol will remember that we discussed that. Then when schools bought the building that the county owns. So keep in mind that. They used their funds to purchase the building because it was such a good opportunity for them. So we have to pay for the maintenance of the building. Technically, they could have said, our current situation is not working out, you have to find it somewhere else. So we have a very good relationship, and it's our turn to step up. I'm just letting you know, this was not unknown when this was done. Todd remembers. It was going to need a roof, we said, within 10 years. Piper's here to get paid. So we'll be more on that later. Any other questions? We'll do the whole bidding, the whole situation. Yeah. Mr. Hunter?
Thank you very much, Chairman Frank. Yeah, with respect to school districts who have been ranked lowly with respect to their report cards, what do you do in terms of assisting them?
So what we try to do is we try to work with them. Again, keep in mind that school districts, it's local control in Illinois. So school districts are responsible for their own performance. We are here to work with them to provide supports if they request. So that's always offered to help them to evaluate the data and support them in.
So have you, without being specific, but you know where I'm coming from, have you made that assessment of the data?
In some cases we do, but not all. So I don't have any specifics to give you, but it really is a local decision. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Not really. If kids can't read, that's a concern of mine. But anyway, we'll talk further, Frank.
Okay.
Alrighty. Any other questions for Frank? Thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Moving on, VAC, Karen Smetansky.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Karen was going to be here today.
Okay.
Mr. Pekin, Okay. All right. I guess if they have something, they can come tomorrow. Finance, I don't know. There's not on the agenda to vote if there is anything, but okay. County Administrator, Anita Speckman. Sorry, I'm still reeling from that whole taco trail thing I heard about earlier. Is that on GIS anywhere, Delbert? Taco trail? We're working on it. All right, sorry. Please, go ahead.
Good morning. Just not a lot going on. I shouldn't say that. There's a lot going on, but in terms of hiring, it was a big month this month. We went from 14 openings to 8. So that's a huge drop. Largely probation. We have carried 5 openings in probation since December 28th of 2021, so 2 years and 4 months, which all went away with the movement of the state funded position. So it's not really anything we did, but it does look better. Yes. So we currently have 8 positions, 8 openings, no multiples. 3 of the 8 are within the last 30 days. That's something else we look at, what's stale, what we may need to address in a different way to highlight. So very quiet in terms of openings. They are new employee orientation was held April 17th with 7 attendees. So that kind of is indicative of where we're at as well. In terms of the IMRF new website that I spoke about last month, just an update, Joanne said, I was going to say much better, Joanne. Her wait time is more around 15 minutes instead of the hour and a half it was a month ago, so that's getting better. She's been able to like remit our payments and file our reports as we need to. There's still cleanup of some things. Again, we talked about last month of the information that came over from the old system to the new. So you might have someone that started as enrolled in the regular IMRF. Most typically we see that with corrections, where someone will go from corrections into a deputy. So they might move from a regular IMRF employee to a SLEP. Well, the conversion of the data took where that person originally enrolled, and so it's not correct. So things like that, there are miscellaneous things like that that still have to be fixed that Joanne is working on. I would say responses to the emails remains slow. Good characterization? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would say we find the best time to call first thing in the morning. That is really what we recommend. Try to get them first thing in the morning. That's what, and keep trying, right? Any other advice?
Just be patient and bring your phone with you wherever you go so you don't lose it.
True. So they don't skip your turn while you had to run out for a quick minute. Not good. But other than that, I think we're working our way through what has to happen there. Okay, and in terms of the cyber policy that Kevin referred to, I just wanted to make mention, our application as a part of our risk management, we do that every year, and I have to report on what our procedure is in terms of mitigating risk for cyber. So that when Kevin said we usually send that out this time of year, that flyer, that is a part of what I report to them as our mitigation plan for cyber. And we've done very well historically in terms of our renewals. So I haven't had pushback from IPMG in terms of our mitigation plan or wanting anything additional to what Kevin's already doing. So we work actually pretty well in terms of our mitigation plan. So we continue to focus on that. As he said, the risks are always there. They're ongoing, and you think you have one thing figured out and they come up with something else. So it continues to receive focus.
Do you want to have a question? I'm sorry. Mr. Hunter.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Nina, would you consider talking with the various department heads regarding internship programs? Something to, put on your to-do list for the future.
Sure.
I think that'd be something, I know we did some of that stuff formerly, but I'd like to see if maybe look at that, for KCC, Olivet, and Governor State, or maybe even U of I.
Okay.
Is there somebody in the waiting room?
No.
I don't know who that is.
I think it's Polk again.
Oh, it's Dr. Polk.
Watson.
Dixon A. We have a full complement of board members back. Is there any other questions for Anita? Thank you.
Okay.
Had some openings. I think that was it. That was it? Okay. Openings real quick. One on all the following: McGilvery Special Drainage, BM Lewis Drainage, Moments Pembroke Units Drainage number 1, Union Drainage number 2, Animal Welfare Advisory Committee, somebody from the shelter community, Historic Preservation Commission, the historian, ICANN Joint Education Committee, a board member, that is county board member. So please let me know. We've got to get somebody into that spot because they, Frank, when is the next meeting? It's in June. Yeah. So we'd like to hopefully talk amongst yourselves, as they say. Pilot Township Fire Protection District, Cambria Area Fire Protection District, 2 openings on the Kankakee County Public Building Commission, and then there's 9 openings on the Waterways Advisory Subcommittee. As a reminder, 1 member will be selected by the boat clubs, Kankakee, Aroma Park, and Moments, so they'll figure out how they want to choose that 1 person. 1 member from the Farm Bureau, 1 member from the Soil and Water District in Kankakee County, 1 member from the Anglers, and 1 member from or representing all Kankakee County's drainage districts, up to them to decide how to do that. And 1 member representing Rural Fire Rescue, same, they can determine how they want to do it. And 3 at-large members. Now this is without compensation, I do want to remind everybody, but I think mileage is in order. Mileage is, I think, under IRS regulations, not compensation. Am I correct in that, Anita?
Correct.
It's an expense reimbursement, so they will be able to be paid mileage because we got people coming from all corners of the
Craft
county.
beer tour and taco.
That'll be where hold their meetings. Will be the craft beer / taco trail. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that here because I see that as a difference. You know, we all volunteer time on the river, but this is kind of official business. If we want people to volunteer, it shouldn't cost them $30 to drive from the corner of the county and back. And that's on a good day these days. So, alrighty. Any other new or old business? Anyone?
Yes, I have some new business.
Yes, Dr. Polk.
I would like to announce that Martin Luther King will be giving away 19 scholarships. And if anybody has any more money they'd like to help us with, we would appreciate it very much, because we're trying to give every single child in Kankakee County that's sending an application, we'd like to give them something.
All right. Anything else? Motion to adjourn? Mr. Hess, second? Ms. Weber, sorry. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign.